Greetings YouTube, my name is Matthew. I'm the creator of the Finchwood Discipleship Podcast, which is about conversations for people who want to be more like Jesus. It's available on most podcasting apps and websites. Basically just search for Finchwood Discipleship Podcast, you'll find it. It's also available here on YouTube if you are not the podcast subscribing listening type. If you're more of a YouTube dweller, you could also just search for it here and subscribe there. There isn't really a lot of video to go along with it, it's just the little bars that go up and down, so you won't really be able to see it, but it might be something that you could listen to while you drive or that kind of thing, while you're not, physically viewing the screen. If you want to know more about me, by the way, or about Finchwood, or about what this whole thing is about, a lot of that is explained in the pilot episode of the podcast, so I'm not really going to get into that in this format. I would just like to say that the same ideals pretty much apply. This is about biblical Christianity. It's about asking honest questions about what does the Bible say, and how could we live the way Jesus would live in a 21st century context. So anyway, that brings me to why I have a YouTube channel, which you may be wondering about. Why is a podcaster here? And that's a good question. The thing is that the podcast is so serialized, it's so structured from one episode to a next on purpose so that you could really start out from square one without any kind of idea what the Bible says or what that's about, and you would be able to grow in your faith based on one episode to the next, building concept to concept. But not all of life really works that way. Sometimes you just get thoughts or things come up, current events happen, and there really are those questions. Okay, what would Jesus do in this situation? And I want to be able to make content about that too that wouldn't fit into the serialized, seasonal approach of the podcast, and that's what the YouTube channel is about. It's about having an outlet for that kind of content. So that's one reason for the YouTube. The other reason for it is really as a supplement to the podcast, even the content that's there. Every once in a while, of course, I'll have some kind of an episode that's about a topic that really does bear some kind of visual explanation. Sometimes there'll be a chart or a video or a graphic or something that you would understand it a lot better if you can see it. And so this YouTube channel also just serves as a repository for those kinds of things. It's like a supplement to the podcast, and who knows, maybe one day I'll expand it to include devotional content or praise and worship or those kinds of things. But for right now, that's the idea. We'll see where it goes in the future. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time except to say welcome and make yourselves at home. And of course, thank you so much for watching.